Good morning. My name's Katie Eldridge, and I'm coming from the barn today. I'm visiting my dad in Ridgecrest, California. And Candy Coffee, this is for you and your friends at the Calvary. So today I'm going to lead you through or show you some stretches that are going to help keep you limber as you're riding, spending all those hours in the saddle, so that you can feel your best self and be fluid as you're riding. This will, I recommend it to be done, before even getting saddling. Maybe you've hitched your horse at the post and you want to take a minute, just run through some of these stretches, maybe the ones that really work well for you, and we'll talk about that as we go along. So let's just start. I'm on the side of the hitching post. I always just start hands by your sides, or if you want to feel centered, you can put your hands together and just close your eyes. We're just going to take a moment to pause. As you inhale through the nose, you feel that spine start to get nice and long. And exhale through the mouth, giving a nice sigh, feeling grounded into the earth. Let's go 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. Slowly begin to open your eyes if you had them closed. Um, a lot of people don't understand, so the breath is what's going to rule all the tension in our body. When we're breathing from the chest, it's going to make us tight. So we want to try and find length and ease. So really taking those even inhalations and exhalations before you even begin anything. It'll take like less than a minute out of your day. Okay, so let's begin. First, we're going to bring, I'm parallel with the hitching post, or if you have a side wall, go ahead and step your right foot back. So the hitching post is to my left side. Stepping the right hip back, or the right leg back, squaring your hips. So your hips are squaring forward, and then you're going to just inhale, bring your right hand fingertips up towards the ceiling or sky. And then on your exhale, let's just reach across. So I'm reaching to my left side. Think about drawing that right hip away from you, like someone has a string and they're pulling that right hip away. So you're feeling a stretch through that side body, opening up that hip flexor muscle, rib cage. And then inhale, come up, and exhale. And then let's go ahead and switch. So switching sides. Now I'm going to face the opposite direction. I'm going to bring my left leg back just slightly, and you can make it as much or as little as you want. So I have about a foot distance between my heel and toe. So inhale, left hand comes up, fingertips to the sky. And then as you exhale, just draw that left hip out as the fingertips come to that left side. So think about anchoring in that left foot into the ground. So you're pulling that left hip away from your fingertips, getting length through that side body. And we're doing that nice, even breathing, inhalation, exhalation. And then inhale, fingertips come up, and exhale, release. So now coming to the hitching post, just a shoulder opener, all those muscles that get tight from pulling back on the horses. You can bring the outside of your hand or just bring your hands onto the hitching post. You want to kind of bring your hips in slightly because I'm going to bend my knees and shoot my hips back. And I'm kind of bringing my chest down towards the ground. So you'll notice I kind of adjusted my feet back. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. I just want you to come to a position where you feel like you're pressing your hips back as your head comes, your arms are framing the head next to the ears. And I'm not forcing or pushing anything. If this is a little too much for you, you can even keep a bent elbow and just kind of come here. So with hands straight, press into those palms, getting a deeper stretch, and think about drawing those shoulder blades down towards your hips. So this gives you that length in the back of the neck. And my eye gaze is just slightly in forward of my toes. Nice neutral spine. Inhale and exhale here. Nice. And inhale, coming up. Okay, then from here, grab onto the post with one hand. Hips can be square or you can do split stance. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring my palm up and around. So if you were next to a wall, you would be making circles with your hand against the wall. So we're just opening up that hip and chest. We're going to go one more time here. When your palm meets your side, let's go ahead and reverse it. We're going to go back and forward. And then maybe rotating your palm open and then the opposite direction. Just have fun with it. You want to find those places where you might be carrying a little tension. And now as you inhale, go ahead and bring your hand forward. I have a nice straight hand and I'm just going to bend at the elbow. So we call this cactus arms. Make sure that you're not arching that back, right? So my sit bones are facing down towards the ground. So as I'm here, I'm in a cactus arm. I have a 90-degree bend and I'm not letting my shoulders shrug up towards my ears. Relax it down. And then if you want a deeper stretch, just think about pulling your elbow back a little bit further. You should be feeling a stretch to the front of the shoulder, your pectoral muscles. Inhale and exhale here. And then go ahead and release. Okay, so coming to the opposite side. You're going to see me from behind. I'm just going to go through each direction. So as I inhale, my hand comes up and then I come around. So for me, I kind of like the feeling of keeping my palm facing in. And then as I come back, I kind of face my palm out. I just like the stretch that it gives me in the front of my shoulders and chest. And then once you've hit 3 this direction, make sure you flip it. So as I come back, I flip my palm out and I leave it this way. And as I come forward, now my palm's facing my body. That makes sense? So I'm rotating, externally rotating in the shoulder and flipping it open. Okay, let's go one more time here. And I'm remembering to engage those lower abdominals, sit bones down towards the earth. And when your hand meets your side, inhale, fingertips come up to the sky. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bend at that elbow. We're making a cactus arm. And check in with the shoulders, making sure they're away from your ears, you're not shrugging. And then if you want a deeper stretch, you just pull the elbow back slightly. Inhale and exhale here. Nice, the whole time, nice, even inhalation, exhalation. And then go ahead and release. Okay, a couple more stretches for you. And again, you might not do all these stretches each time before you get on, but I want you to go through these stretches and find the ones that really feel good and feel like you're opening up those tight areas. So with my bucket, you might have something else. We're just going to kind of work balance a little bit because that's really important as we're in the saddle. So first thing we're going to do, you have your hitching post here if you need to put a hand on for balance. So I have my left foot down. The bottom of my right foot is on the pedal and I'm kind of making this 90-degree angle. So I never want my knee too far over my ankle. So I'm here and then try and just release that hand. And you can come here or here. So it's super easy, right? Like you're feeling like, okay, I could be here all day long. Okay, I want you to kind of go ahead and pick up your foot from the pedal a little bit. And so I'm going to engage those lower abdominals to bring my foot up. Inhale and exhale. Nice. One more breath. Nice, even breathing. And then exhale down. So now let's just walk over the bucket. I still am doing my right leg. I'm going to go ahead and bring my right foot back. So now my toes on the box, and I'm just going to think about squeezing my butt, right? I'm getting a stretch in the front of the leg. And a lot of times this is not going to be deep enough for you. So if you have a water trough, you can put your foot up on the water trough, or if you have the ability, or maybe you have a towel, go ahead and grab that ankle. So you'll notice my knees are staying parallel. I'm not bringing my knee forward or out. I'm pulling everything into the midline and I'm rolling that right shoulder back. And I'm trying to isometrically squeeze that glute muscle. Inhale and exhale. If you're balance challenged, that's why you have this hitching post. And then exhale, release. Okay, so coming back to the bucket. Again, if at any time you need more of a challenge, you're going to lose the bucket. You're not going to need to use it. So still on this right leg, now we're going to hit the hamstring, right? We hit the front of the leg, so it's important to also lengthen the back of the leg. So go ahead and put your right heel down on the bucket. I keep a slight bend. If you have a lot of, your hamstrings are really tight, I want you to just bend your knee a little bit more. So keeping a slight bend, never locking out. I inhale to get long, and then as I exhale, all I'm going to do is hinge at the hips. So I'm not rounding my back. I'm keeping a nice flat back, and my chest is open. It's facing forward. Sorry, I just lost one of my earbuds. And flex the toe back towards your shins to get a deeper stretch in the hamstring. If you're balance challenged, hand can come onto the hitching post. Inhale and exhale here. Perfect. And go ahead and release. Okay, so coming to the other side. Hopefully you guys, I actually think I'm going to come on to the other side, guys. So now we're going to do the left side. So on my left side, I have my left foot down into the bucket, and you can stay here, right? So maybe it's a matter of just getting away from the hitching post. Next challenge, hands at your chest. And if you want to get really crazy and wild with it, you can bring your hands overhead as long as your shoulders are relaxed and down. Okay, for those that are really stable, I want you to use those abdominals to pull the left knee up towards the midline. Eye gaze comes forward or slightly down at the floor. And I'm feeling nice and limber, right? My core is doing all the work by pulling up those lower abdominals. Think about zipping up that zipper on your jeans. That's how we're going to engage that lower abdominal. Inhale and exhale here. Nice, and go ahead and release. So now I'm going to step over my bucket. My left foot or left toe comes down onto the bucket. And first, before I go into anything, I'm just going to make sure that my sit bones are facing down towards the earth. So I don't have any of this lumbar curvature. I'm protecting that lower back. So this might be enough for you. If not, and you want to take a little bit more, you can either elevate your foot on something higher, or for me, I'm going to go ahead and grab my ankle. You could even grab the top of your foot if that's easier. And squaring my hips, and I'm going to bring everything towards the midline. So my knees are parallel. And I'm just feeling a deep stretch through the front of that left leg. Think about squeezing that left butt cheek a little bit more as your shoulder rolls back. Inhale and exhale here. Nice. And go ahead and release. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Okay, left hamstring stretch. Last stretch of the day. So left heel comes onto our bucket. keeping just a slight bend. We don't lock out our joints for fear of restricting that blood flow. Blood flow is really good for keeping inflammation down. So we want to make sure we're not restricting that. So heel, left heel on top of bucket. I'm going to flex my toes back. And as I inhale, I get nice and long in that spine. And as I exhale, I'm just hinging at my hips and I'm feeling my tailbone go back. So it's facing behind me. And I'm going to keep my hands on my shins. I have pretty tight hamstrings right now. But my chest is open and facing forward. Eye gaze can come right over the toe or maybe 45 degrees in front of you. If you want to come a little bit deeper, you could always bend the knee and then maybe grab the toe and then from there straighten the leg just slightly. I just don't want you to come into this tug of war to where you're pulling on another body part to get into a deeper stretch. That's not what this is about. We're here to release tension and just lengthen our muscles so we can feel our best as we begin to ride. And then go ahead and release and then stretch out. Nice. So that are some daily stretches that you could do every day. I showed some modifications. If you need to make it harder and you need some ideas or you like some more stretches, reach out to me. Candy Coffee has my number. I am just so thankful for all you volunteers. You do an amazing job, and I've enjoyed watching your videos. And I know my dad's enjoyed having you help out at some of the races. So thank you for all you do. And I love you, Miss Candy Coffee. Bye.